when you trying to create something or want things for yourself, what to do, what I've learned that you speak it and you live like it's already there, even though you don't have it yet. So you gotta pretend like it's already there. You just waiting on it, if that makes sense.
In life, sometimes we hear the same thing over and over and over, but we may not be listening to it. And sometimes you may say something profound and not truly understand what you just said. I think that's just a part of the vicious cycle of nothing being new under the sun. And sometimes you just have to sit back and smell the roses and enjoy the sunshine and feel the breeze on your skin. That voice note at the beginning was my ex-coworker, Fergie. Him and I are really, really cool old-time friends. We developed a relationship because of the job, but we never stopped communicating. We would not communicate as frequent as I would like sometimes, but that's just life. There's not enough hours in the day. 24 hours. As you get older, you realize there's not enough hours. But in the voice note in the beginning, you will see where he pretty much mentioned you have to manifest your dreams. You have to speak your certain things into existence. And I also remember a clip where 50 Cent said one of the things that he did, what he was trying to encourage his friend and fellow artist, Pop Smoke, who died in 2020, February, I believe. He was trying to tell him, listen, you can't, that whole Tupac thing where he was kind of speaking his death into existence or trying to predict it and so on. You can't do that. I mean, you could do it, and he did it, but he said you shouldn't do it because basically the tongue, words have power.
I said, death is of the tongue, right?
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
So I said, because the things we put on these records, we have to repeat them over and over, and you won't realize it, but you'll be saying it for 20 years. If the project is successful like that, you'll be, look, I'm still gonna get rich.com. So what I'm saying to him is, I said, when you write death, write it away from you. You sat right across from me when I said that to him at the table, Steve. You know what I'm saying? Because I said, write it. It's gonna happen. We know the lifestyle is there. That's gonna happen to. But write it happening to someone else. Write it happening to. You see what I'm saying? And I was saying this without even hearing his records, right? I feel like the gamble or the game in general is so full of heartbreaks that whoever it hurts the worst to crap out will crap out, right? So if you're gambling with the light bill money, it will be dark, right?
And you don't have to believe that. Some people say you put into whatever you put into the universe, it comes back to you. Whether you believe in karma, whether you believe in words of power, whether you believe in God or not, I believe that words do have power. And hear me out. All right. Now, everyone has a different belief system as relates to a higher power. I believe in God. Just to put it out there, I do believe in God. I am a Christian, but not only Christians believe in this. Pretty much, if you had enough experience in life, you'll realize that the energy that you put out there, you will attract. Being that if you're a negative person, you will attract negative people. If you are a positive person, you will attract a lot more positive things and people. There's also an article on this website that I found on Google. I think the website is Kelsey Ada. I'll leave that article in the description below, but you could show her your support, comment, and say where you found a website and so on. But she made some points that I agree with as well. And the two main things what she said in our article that I really agree with was, when you say things, you have to be enthusiastic about it and just give good energy. Like, I find myself at times being negative, and I think that's partially because hurt feelings and frustrations of life, co-workers, bosses, just, oppressing, the common man, or just things are not going your way. So you find yourself being negative, and then you would attract negative people, right? So Kelsey Ada from the website basically made a point that I agree with, that if you want to attract more positive things, more positive people around you, you have to be less negative. And when you say things, try to, before saying it, to be negative, or even if it blurred out your mouth, because sometimes I have that thing where I have a temper and I would blur things out and not fully understand what I just said until it's said, and then I regret saying it. But even if that's so, change it by correcting yourself the same way you blurred it out. Correct yourself and be more positive, be enthusiastic. That's something I have to work on as well. I think we all need to work on that and perfect that, but I think that's something that most of us never really perfect, but it's something to keep on fighting for, right? But she also made mention in this article, linked in the description below, that you don't tell party poopers your dreams. And I believe in that. I made a video some time ago where someone came to me and he was like, he wanted to start a YouTube channel, but he needed some advice. And one of the pieces of advice that I told him was, watch who you tell. Basically, don't look for the support from the people you care about the most, because in a nutshell, you don't know who is in that crew is quote unquote a realist person or quote unquote negative person, have hidden jealousy towards you and so on. You don't know who's going to be negative. And when you have a dream that's not been fulfilled as yet, you hold it close to your heart. It's attached to your being, it's attached to your feelings. And you basically, by telling them your dream, you give them the opportunity to now hurt you and make you doubt what you are dreaming about. So if they are negative towards it, if they say, oh, that can't happen, then you start to doubt yourself and you feel crushed, right? Now, you don't have to feel crushed. You could use it as motivation, but it's easy to feel crushed in that situation. And she went on to say some other things. Basically, she gave another story about how her beauty teacher in school used to always give her stories about how she would be at work and always tell customers, hey, I'm the busiest person in here, and so on. And it wasn't so at the time, but because she kept on putting it out there, she ended up becoming the busiest person. The customers had a sense of urgency to want to give her business in that sense. And I could follow that. Now, I believe, because I'm Christian, I believe in there's power in the tongue, but I also believe that, some people are truly favored. I believe I'm one of those persons who are a favored individual. Like, I could go on and go on and go on about every time something negative happens to me, it turns out to be positive. And this has been happening to me, or with me, from I started to know myself as a young adult, from teenage years to now. Every year, like clockwork, whenever something bad happens, it turns out to be good. I remember when I first joined the job that I work on, and I saw somebody, they were very intelligent, good at what they did, and I said, hey, I want to eventually work in a department that he works in. And believe it or not, I ended up working there a year later. I ended up working under him for 3 years. So in a nutshell, guys, I don't want this video to be super long, but in a nutshell, I have a lot of experience with things going not good in my life. And things looking very bad. Straight up to my recent promotion, I remember I didn't get promoted initially, right? And I was very distraught about it. I was distraught about it because, for one, I was the only one in my department up for the promotion. For the last 3 years, I was doing pretty much all the work in the department because I work in IT. And when it finally came out, everybody around me was promoted, but except me. I was a bit taken back. I felt used. I felt a lot of different emotions. But one thing I did not do in this whole experience was I didn't curse God. And I didn't forget that every time something bad happens to me, it turns out to be good. Now, when you're going through moments like that, it's very difficult to be this positive. And because the moment already passed, it's easier for me to say certain things. And that's just life. But I remember after about 5 days of being in my feelings, being upset, being angry, I sat down in my vehicle on the outside when someone was coming to my yard to give me a quote on something I wanted done in my yard. And I said to myself, I give up. And I didn't say I give up to say I can kill myself or I give up on living and being happy. No, I pretty much said to myself, I give up. And I meant I give up me caring about something that shouldn't have this much power over me. And I was disappointed in myself. But believe it or not, after I said that and I was more positive, some things happened that brought me back into my feelings. But you know, the feelings are still, the wounds are still fresh, and it's still getting over it. So I occasionally I would lapse back into my feelings. But believe it or not, in a week's time, the promotion was still going on, and I was promoted. Power in the tongue. All right, there's power in the tongue. Speak what you dream into existence. Be positive. Take my words and run with it. When you hear wisdom, listen. If you are a student of wisdom, you will hear something and keep it close to your heart. So with that, guys, I hope you have a good day. Continue to have a great evening, and I'm out. Peace.